Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. If I sound like I've got flu, it's because I have. I've had it for like 2 weeks. So we're kicking off where we finished with the SA Open recaps. I've got my last 6 rounds to go. Good news and bad news. No draws in the last 6 rounds. No draws. Some of them were very long games. That means they're all results. It could mean that I did lose 6 games. It could mean that, but I think you can tell from the title that today, round 6, wasn't today, but round 6, I played a brilliant move. Was it a winning effort? Was it a losing effort? That is what you're going to have to tune in to find out for these next 6 rounds. So this was round 6. How have we gone so far? In case you've forgotten, not so good. We've got 2 draws and 3 losses, so we're on 1 out of 5. I've got the black pieces, a reminder, 1295, and against my opponent was 1473, and he had a FIDE rating of 1473. That's also important. We want to get a FIDE rating, one of our goals. So he played d4, and I went for a Benoni. This was my first Benoni with the black pieces. We obviously did have one in round 3 against Jay van der Berg, but we had the white pieces on that occasion. c4, d5 rather, e6, and we get a traditional Benoni. All the way here, e4, g6. Look at this, all the book moves. Look at us. I break book first with a6. Sorry, excuse me. You'll have to apologize for my throat. I've been flu. I'm still not 100% better, but it's been like 2 weeks since I made a video, so I should do something. Otherwise, the channel's just going to die, and we've done lots of hard work. Anyway, a4, because the main idea of a4 is to stop b5. Like, this is what you want the Benoni. You build up on the queen side. You can bring your bishop this way, or you can play like queen c7. You get your knight to c5, all that good stuff. So I castle, queen c7, and he played f3. And here, my spidey senses started tingling in the game, because I was expecting f4. f4 is a move. Knight to g3 is a move. And just f3 didn't make sense to me. I guess the idea was you don't want to allow the bishop to go there, but why invest in f3? Like, if the bishop does go there, then you play f3, and I've got to go back. Why not play something like knight to g3, or, bishop to c4, or bishop to e3? I just thought f3 was a waste of time. So my spider senses started tingling here. I played knight bd7 because I wanted to go to e5. That's also why you play f4 sometimes, to disallow the knight going to e5. But he played bishop to e3, and I played knight to e5. And here, should you move the bishop? Am I threatening to take the bishop? The light squared bishop. Am I threatening to take it? Well, my idea was no. I didn't want to take it. I wanted to use it to, push here and, try and secure myself an outpost or something like that. I was thinking of taking it, but only if it really benefits me. The bishop is a light squared bishop. Look at all the pawns. They're on light squares. This bishop is dead. If I want to take any bishop, I want to take the dark squared bishop. And I don't want to give up my dark squared bishop for it, because I've also got pawns on light squares. This is my golden piece. So, they play bishop to b1, which I thought was a bit of a miss, because now after bishop to d7 and a5, I can play knight to c4. Knight to c4. So I played bishop to d7, right? And it targeted the pawn. It was not attacking it. It was targeting it, and they pushed it. Now I get knight to c4. You cannot defend this bishop. You have to move it. The best move, according to the engine, is to play bishop to f4, because you put pressure right back on this. And that is the weakness in the Benoni. That d6 pawn is a huge weakness. They didn't play that. They went bishop. Where did the bishop go? Oh, yeah. Bishop to g5. Sorry, I don't know why it keeps doing this. Anyway, bishop to g5. And here, according to the engine, made a mistake, and I took the pawn. Knight takes a5. Because it sees that e5 is possible. And if I take on e5, which is a huge mistake, there's d6. And after queen b7, there's take, knight to d5, take here, and lose this knight. Lose the knight or lose the bishop. And it thinks that I can get to this position, down a piece for 3 pawns, or like this position, but the pawns just start hanging, right? It thinks I can get to this position, down a piece for like 3 pawns or so, and be okay-ish. Not here. Yeah, so here, it thinks bishop to b5. Yeah, is obviously the best move, because then the rook doesn't take that. And it thinks that this is level. I don't know what drugs it's on. This isn't level. I suppose maybe there's weaknesses on the king, right? There's this, and there's like threats, and I've got the open files probably quite quickly. I would never have seen this. I would have never gone into this if I knew what was coming. But naturally, we're not engines. So we went down that whole line. They just played bishop takes f6, and then played bishop to c2. So I went back, bishop to g7, because I want to play f5. And rook a2, I was like, now I'm definitely playing f5. We're just going to ignore the engine until the key moment of this game. So queen 8 b1. Why am I attacking on the king side? Because look at this. What are these pieces doing? They're having a party on the queen side of the board and have just left the king in his bungalow. And I'm going to get this bishop in. This bishop is attacking. This rook is in. This rook will be in. The only piece I don't have is the stupid knight to a5. And even then, it can be used to come in to the position to disrupt the coordination. So c4, rook c4, not rook c4, rook d1, and then I play rook a e8, just bringing the rook to the party. Now knight to g3, but I find f4. Look at the advantage swelling. I'm just up a pawn, but it's +3. And here, I thought this was a very clever idea. The engine hates it. Rook e5 is a mistake according to the engine, but again, I liked it very much, so I played it. Why? Because I want to swing the rook this way. And also, I really just wanted to disallow e5, so I was just going to physically disallow it. So rook e5, and now queen a1. Targets the knight, right? I told you, knight to b3. Takes, and now the rook needs to invest a move into moving. So I play g5. I don't know what went through my opponent's mind here, but h3, which is a bad move. I went g4. Takes, and I went all in. Bishop takes g4. I can tell you now, right? The best move is about minus 1.8. Everything else is completely lost for black. For white, I'm black. Everything else is completely lost for white. You have to take the bishop. You have to just take the bishop, and then allow queen c5, and something like king to h1, there's h5. This is what you have to go for. And you're holding on by the skin of your teeth, or not. Okay. Bishop takes g4. Rook takes b3 is what my opponent played. Rook takes b3. And here, some of you see this bishop, and you're like, well, they didn't take it once. What if I do it again and give a check? No. There's only one way to sacrifice the bishop. And it is a brilliant move. And it's to play rook h5. Brilliancy. Second over the board. Brilliancy. First one of this tournament. We are cooking. Now you can no longer take the bishop. That's what my opponent does. You can't do it because you're mated. Queen c5. You block with the knight. I take with the bishop. My golden piece. King to h1. Now there's a variety of ways to win. The biggest one, ironically, is f3. Sacrificing the rook. I didn't see that. I played rook h1 check. King e2 is forced. I gave a check, and here there's mate in 2. I didn't see it. So I took this rook, allowed them to take on h1, but I played queen c2. This is what I saw. And mate is almost unstoppable. The only way to prevent mate is to play queen to f1. And that might not even be enough. Instead, he goes to run, and it's mate in 5. And I did find mate in 5. You know the expression. When you have mate in 2, look for better. I did. I found mate in 5. Because it's check, check. You force the king all the way to h6, and I find Bishop G7, my golden piece. Bishop to G7, mate. My first win of the SA Open. We are back. The momentum is on. I will see you tomorrow for round 7 recap. Oh boy, we are so back.